It's time now to catch up with Kevin Harris, who is the TU rowing coach. And Coach, you hardly got into any competition at all. You had one scrimmage against Kansas before the COVID-19 crisis erupted. So how do the young ladies handle all of that? And, you got some stuff done at least, huh?
Well, Bruce, I have to say I'm really proud of the women on the Tulsa women's rowing team. You know, we were as close as you could get to getting to our first regatta, just about. I mean, Coach Staff and I had left early on March 12th with the trailer to head to our first competition in Tennessee. Some of the teams were already there in Oak Ridge, Louisville and Notre Dame, Minnesota. Some of them were already there practicing. And our team had just gotten on the bus at Maybe Gym when we were told that, hey, we needed to cancel our competition and unload the bus and stay on campus. And that was a hard day, but I think the women really handled it about as well as they could have.
And the one competition you did have basically was a scrimmage against Kansas, and against the Jayhawks, you basically took care of business.
Yeah, we love being able to compete with the Jayhawks, and we have a really good relationship with the University of Kansas rowing team and their staff. And it's nice that we can, we're only about 4.5 hours apart, and in this part of the country, that's not very far. So getting to have them come down and be able to scrimmage, and us sometimes being able to go up to them, has been a real benefit to both teams. And I was really impressed with the way that our women handled that scrimmage. It was we actually had to move it away from our normal home race course at Catoosa. We moved it up to Lake Claremore, and thanks to the Claremore Parks and Recs for helping us out with that. But I thought that the women really handled themselves well. We raced 4s on Friday afternoon. Saturday morning we raced 8s, and pretty much we were ahead in all of the pieces. They were various lengths: 3 minutes, 6 minutes, 8 minutes. But I thought the women handled it really well.
And Coach, you're always a guy with his eye on the weather and what's going on. A lot of rain this past winter and swelling the creeks, so to speak. And I don't know how that affected your ability to get out on the water, but it's always good to be on the water, isn't it, to get out? Oh,
it's great to be on the water. I mean, the athletes will tell you, Bruce, I'm sure they have, that they would much rather be in a boat than on a rowing facility. But it's one of those things where actually this year we were able to get out on the water much more than last year in January and February. And that helped us a lot because it really prepared us. And it turns out, actually, as you talk about the weather, even though we weren't on the water, I was keeping aware of it. And we would have lost probably about 2 or 3 weeks this season because of high water. The good news is that we had so much more time than we normally get in January, February, that we were actually ready for that and could have handled it better this year.
Does that, Coach, give you kind of the sense of what could have been? I mean, did you have a good feeling about the way this team was building up?
Yeah, this was shaping up to be, if not our best, then one of our best varsity teams ever. And what I learned from that Kansas scrimmage is that not only did we have a very good first 8, but we had a really good second 8, and our 4s were going to be pretty good as well. I think that this was our deepest team, even though, we're a small squad. We're only 36 athletes. But I really think that this team, just watching them, the way that they worked in the scrimmage, the way that they've worked in practice, the numbers that we've seen, I really felt that this team was heading to Tennessee to kind of light up a little bit. And we were all getting on the bus with a smile on our face and looking forward to that.
And Coach, backing it up to the fall, I had a couple of competitions. One was one that you hosted, and then of course the regatta, the head of the Oklahoma as well, where you had 7 boats medal in that one. Your fall campaign was a good one, wasn't it?
It was very solid. Yeah, I felt really good about it. Bruce, you know me, I tend not to focus too much on the winning and the losing in the fall. That said, it's always nice to win. and having, the team, I think they pretty much won all but one of their races last fall, if I'm correct. I'd have to go back and look at that, or maybe 2, like a women's single or something like that. But the competitive level on this group is really high. And what I love about our team is that they love to compete both against each other in practice. And, when we get out to competition, they really come together as a team. And they're just like, yeah, we did all that work in camp, on campus or at the boathouse. And now we can get to, we get to go have fun. We get to go show off against the other teams that we're privileged to compete against.
Coach, going sideways a little bit toward academics, recently TU had their virtual graduation, and I know that that's such a big part of your program is how well your young ladies do in the classroom and graduating and that sort of stuff. Speak to that a little bit for us.
Wow, yeah, that was really hard, Bruce. That morning, as they were going through the virtual bell ringing ceremony, I was texting with a lot of my seniors and direct messaging them and just telling them how proud I am of them, and the fact that they've persevered through, which is something that's really, really hard. We're grateful that the NCAA gave us the ability to have another year, but the reality is this happened in March when a lot of them already had very solid plans. And, I don't blame them at all for, choosing to graduate and move on to that next thing, because, this is what they've been working on for 4 years, is to get to this point and say, hey, look, we won a lot of races. We did a lot of great things. But, academically, this class is just amazing. We haven't gotten the final grades yet, but I really believe that, especially among these seniors, the seniors are probably going to have a GPA of 3.4, 3.5 among the, 11. I think we have 11 graduating seniors this year. And that's just amazing. They're fighters. They're smart. They're going to go off and do great things. We've got one who's headed to medical school, Mountie Bickle, and she's going to go down to OU Health Sciences. And we've got 3 or 4 headed to graduate school in various capacities. Veronique Ulrich is heading off to be an architect in graduate school. Helen Lee has been texting me and getting into colleges over in Great Britain. So it's really nice to see the way that these guys have developed, and it's gratifying to be a part, even though it's a small part, but to be a part of their overall story.
And so, Coach, on the NCAA waiver situation for seniors, I guess it's fair to say it just continues for all coaches to be kind of an evolving process, isn't it?
Yeah, and as much as we appreciate it, I'm not sure that the waiver process was all the way thought through. There's going to be some challenges with it, but I'm grateful because I think at least 1 or maybe 2 of the seniors are going to come back, and they're outstanding. The women who I think, and I don't want to say who because we're not sure yet, but the women who I think may come back are going to be just tremendous additions to our team, or not additions. They're the women who've been pushing the team all along. But to have them around for another year is only going to make us better. So I'm excited about that.
Coach, sorry about the truncated season for you, but certainly we look forward to seeing you back on campus and seeing the young ladies compete in the fall and get ready for next spring as well. Again, thanks for taking the time, and please stay safe, my friend.
Yes, thank you, Bruce. We're all looking forward to being back, that's for sure.